Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Natalie Vestal. I'm the licensed acupuncturist at Red Dragon Wellness Center, and we're going to talk about somatic experiencing, or SE, tonight. Somatic experiencing is something that I've been learning. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey to getting here. Um, so, over the last 5 years or so, maybe a little longer, I've really begun to focus my practice on the emotional and mental triggers and trauma that becomes physical manifestations. So I this first started with one client who was having neck pain, and she we had treated it a couple times and it just wasn't budging. And then I realized there was a connection um, to what was going on mentally and emotionally in her life. And so by um, by treating that pain as an emotional manifestation, we got rid of it in one treatment. This client has not had that pain come back in 7 years because we dealt with it as an emotional issue, an emotional connotation. So I began to see how we are so much more than the physical, and that's something I've known for a long time. But it's a whole nother level when you see it that vividly. And so, over the last 2 years or so, year and a half, 2 years, um, I began to realize I wanted to do something more with my practice, not just acupuncture. And believe me, I love acupuncture. I love what I'm doing with acupuncture. But I realized I was missing something in what I could offer my clients, um, because I was helping their bodies release this mental, emotional trauma. I was helping them feel their feelings and experience what they needed to experience so they weren't trapped in these situations anymore. But I knew that my language wasn't what it needed to be. I knew that if I am talking to someone who has been through trauma, I need to know how to talk to them in a way that isn't dismissive, isn't minimizing what they've been through, isn't in any way, shape, or form derogatory. And so making sure that I knew I needed to expand my education in order to be able to um, more effectively help these clients. And so I started considering maybe I need to go get a counseling degree to learn how to discuss these things in such a way that it is helpful and not harmful. And so I started looking into that, and it's like, okay, that's a 7 year full time education requirement. That's the years of schooling plus internship. And quite frankly, that was longer than my acupuncture degree. Um, to go back and get another bachelor's, another master's, and do the interning. And that still wouldn't pinpoint exactly what I wanted to do. I want to do more than that. And this is not to minimize counseling in any way, shape, or form. I recommend it highly. I go see my counselor every week because we need someone in our life who is outside of our circumstances to give us the perspective we need. Love counseling, but it wasn't it wasn't the piece of the puzzle I was supposed to fill. So I began looking, and some of you have heard the name Nima Ramani. He is a trauma counselor, or not trauma counselor. Technically, he's a chiropractor who started seeing the same sort of thing that I was seeing in my clients. And so he was like, you know what? I need to do whatever it takes to work on my own crap so that I can help other people work on their crap. And I've been following him because I need to work on my crap too so that I can help other people work on their crap. And he said in one of his YouTube videos that he was doing somatic experiencing training. And so I started digging in to somatic experiencing because if this is what this guy is using to do what he's doing, like if this is the training he's getting, I want it. I want it. And so I found a class and I started my process. And not this past weekend, but the one before was my first class. um, so last week we didn't do this video then because quite frankly I was driving back from the training and was all in my head. So let's start with what is SE. So it's somatic experiencing. So basically, our body, when we go through a traumatic experience, what is supposed to happen is we get excited. Our nervous system gets excited. We experience adrenaline, and we experience all of these things that we need to help us survive. And then our body survives that and goes, oh, we're no longer actively being chased by a tiger. Excellent. We can calm down now. We can relax. We can go back into rest and digest and heal and do whatever we need. And so we go into freeze. We go into fight or flight, freeze or fawn. The reactions that'll help us survive that moment. And then we get through the stimulus that is causing that. Well, this example being actively chased by a bear. We get through that and we go, you know what? I'm okay. I have reached a point of safety. I know that I am safe. And because I know that I am safe, I can relax. And so our body calms down. Our cortisol goes back down. Our adrenaline goes back down. Our nervous system shifts back into the rest and digest versus the fight or flight. And we're good. But the problem is, in modern society, we have encounters where we can't fight our way out. We can't run away and get away from it. We can't freeze and have a freeze response and we just play dead and then eventually it goes away and we survive. And so we get into these nervous system states where we're like, I need to move. I need to do something. I need to survive. But we're not presented with a way to use up that energy that has been delegated for that survival moment, and we get stuck. And so in some ways, we get stuck by in freeze. Some of us get stuck in fight. Some of us get stuck in flight. And we spend the next however many years, months, decades, whatever, stuck in that state. Some of us are stuck in freeze. We are too afraid to move forward in our lives. And so we're stuck. We can't get out of this state. Some of us are ready to fight anything that comes at us. We're just, you know them. They do really well career-wise a lot of times, or because they're ready. They're going to tackle anything. They're going to fight whatever comes their way. But they never relax. They never rest. They never come down from that. Or they're ready to run. There are people who are constantly fidgeting, constantly tapping their foot, tapping their fingers. They can't hold still because their body's like, you need to run, you need to move, you need to get out of this situation because you're not going to make it if you don't. And so their body is stuck in this. And then we also have people who get stuck in fawn, where it's, as long as the people around me are happy, I'm safe. So I will change who I am. I will do whatever I need to do because as long as everyone is happy, I might survive. Does this make sense? So we get in these nervous system states and we can't come back down. And that's what somatic experiencing is about. Somatic experiencing is about truly feeling our bodies, feeling that fight, feeling that flight, feeling that fawn or freeze, and helping our body to very slowly get out of that state so that we're not running through our flight response. We're slowly moving through our flight response. We're not punching someone with our fight response. We're getting a little bit of resistance. We're like, okay, I can release some of this energy. And it's really fascinating. Like I said, I had my first real experience with this past weekend, and it was amazing what my body showed me, what my body revealed to me, what I was able to let go of in 4 days because I finally heard my body, and it was amazing, y'all. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to continue this training and to learn more and to bring this to my clients because I want my clients, I want Salisbury, I want Delmarva to experience the emotional freedom, the physical freedom, the psychological freedom that comes when we're no longer trapped in an adrenaline-fueled nervous system response, when we're actually able to respond instead of react, when we're actually able to make a choice instead of react, instead of be trapped in the patterns that have kept us there for months, years, decades, maybe even generations. Guys, I'm getting chills. We should not be trapped in the patterns of our parents and grandparents and great grandparents, but we are, because their nervous systems created our nervous system. And so somatic experiencing lets us get out of that, lets our body let go of that, sometimes quite visibly. Sometimes there's shaking involved. Sometimes there's, I had a moment where I was literally silently screaming, just to let go of all of this stuff that my body was holding on to, that part of it was mine, part of it was family generations, part of it was stuff that had happened to me, but I didn't have to be trapped in it anymore. Because when we have trauma, it is not our fault that we were traumatized. It was not our fault that we experienced these things. It was not our fault that this stuff happened to us. But now that it's in our body, now that it's in our emotions, in our head, we have a responsibility for what we're going to do with that. It is not my fault that I have experienced what I have experienced in my life. I want you to say that with me. It is not my fault that I have experienced what I have experienced. It is not my fault that my parents went through crap. It is not my fault that my grandparents went through crap. It is not my fault that all of this got laid in my lap. But, and this is the important part, but I choose to take responsibility for my body and my nervous system and my mental state and my emotional state, because I don't want to stay trapped. None of us deserve to be trapped by our past. None of us deserve to be trapped by the generations before us. None of us deserve to be trapped by that which was beyond our control. So, somatic experiencing is about helping our nervous system get out of that trapped feeling. So, I need help though, because I can learn this on myself. I can just do this to myself and learn and grow from there. And that would be wonderful, because it'll help me get free from my crap. It'll help my nervous system get free from the generations before me, from my lifetime, from all of that. But like I said earlier, I want to help Salisbury. I want to help Delmarva. I want to help this world get free from that trauma. So I need some case studies. I need some people who will lend me their nervous systems, lend me their bodies, lend me their chance to do this. So when I am doing somatic experiencing, full-time, fully trained, it's going to be a precious commodity. It's going to be a huge investment. Right now, I am going to start somatic experiencing clients as if you were getting an acupuncture treatment from me. Uninsured rate, I cannot bill your insurance for this. But we're gonna start doing this work. So, all right, Diane, both hands in the air, bring it. I love that. So if you want to get scheduled, call or text the number at the bottom. I'm about to leave, so I'm not going to pick up the phone, just being completely honest. So texting is probably your better option. And soon I'll have it up on the booking software as well. But we need to not be trapped in our nervous systems. We need to be free. We need to have the chance to live. And so I need to get some volunteers who will help me learn, help you get some freedom. So yeah, if you're interested, please contact the number below and we will get back to you, or comment on this. It's a little less private, but it is an option. And I would be very happy to I don't want to use the term experiment on you, but let's be real. It's the practice of medicine. And it's called the practice of medicine because we are practicing. And this is definitely practicing. So if you're interested, if you're in, please contact me. I look forward to using your nervous system. Y'all have a wonderful night. I look forward to hearing from you soon, talking to you soon. Next week, we are talking about Lyme disease because it's Lyme Disease Awareness Month. And so I'm going to tell my story and how I became an acupuncturist and all that mess. So y'all have a wonderful evening. Talk to you soon. Bye.